Welcome to day 502 of our Web3 journey. I'm Ed Krasenstein here with my twin brother Brian. And remember, these videos are being sponsored by NFT Tech. They are an investor in DesoFi, and DesoFi is a Web3 app built on the Deso blockchain. So let's get started talking about some big data that can't come in this morning from the United States. Brian?
Yeah, so every month around this time, you get the CPI data, which is the core price index data, which shows if there's higher prices or lower prices, how inflation numbers are trending. And today, this morning at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time, the U.S. released the numbers for July, and they came in lower than expected at 8.5% year over year. Economists were expecting around 8.7%. So the market's reacting really positively to this. The Dow is up about 400 points in the pre-market right now. And the crypto market is up a bit too. Bitcoin's hovering around the $24,000 range, slightly less right now. But this is good news. And it's good news because people see inflation kind of slowing. You would think that inflation would be something that would actually help Bitcoin because it's anti-inflationary. But really, what it's doing is when the government raises rates, inflation causes the government or the Federal Reserve to raise rates. And when rates go up, some people decide, hey, let's pull my money out of Bitcoin, out of the stock market, and put it in bonds or interest bearing facilities. So this is good news. It might signal that inflation has peaked. Hopefully it has. Oil prices have been down. Online sales prices are down for the first time in 25 months. So this is good news.
Yeah, so I mean, people see when rates are when the inflation rate's going down, people view that as a sign that, okay, maybe the Federal Reserve will curtail their rate increases, their rate hikes. And if the Federal Reserve curtails their rate hikes, that's going to be good for the stock market. It's going to be good for other investments like crypto. So I think that's what this is doing. People are like, okay, inflation has finally peaked. That means the Fed's going to be able to kind of take it easy. Maybe they'll have another 75 basis point increase next time, but after that, maybe they'll start tapering it off if inflation's really under control. And this is a signal that inflation could finally be under control and could be coming down. And so I think that's a good sign all around for all markets in general. So what to watch? It's just 1 month, but if we did peak, I think that's a really good sign for the economy, and not just for the United States. I think for the world, because the world typically follows the U.S.
Yeah. So Iran, there's some news coming from Iran in the crypto space, and Iran has made their first import order using cryptocurrency. So if you follow world politics and world news at all, you know that the US has sanctions against Iran. Many countries have sanctions against Iran, meaning that it's really difficult for them to trade in US dollars. So what this does is it's allowing Iran to skirt these sanctions. Now they can trade with countries like Russia just with cryptocurrency. Obviously, this isn't a good thing for the United States and for probably Europe and most of the world, in that Iran is able to kind of help boost their economy. But it just shows that the world is moving toward crypto. And an official from the Ministry of Industry, Mine, and Trade in Iran made a post on Twitter, and they said, by the end of September, the use of cryptocurrencies and smart contracts will be widely used in foreign trade with target countries. So this is interesting. Definitely going to have some implications on all sorts of things from world trade to crypto to I think like just geopolitical issues in general.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think this is going to help them skirt trading with U.S. companies. I mean, if Iran's sanctioned, U.S. companies still can't trade with them, even if they're using crypto to do so, at least not legally. So I don't think that's going to help them on that end. But like you said, some of these other countries that might use the U.S. dollar for trading, it's going to definitely benefit Iran there.
Yeah, so I want to skip through our notes and get to something because I saw a lot of questions about this yesterday, and I think it's good to like kind of lead this off. So moving to the Deso blockchain, there were a lot of questions about the transaction of 1,000 Bitcoin being moved out of the Deso Foundation wallet, and 1,000 Bitcoin is approximately $24 million right now. So people didn't know like what are they using this money for, And Ryder on the DAO Discord actually chimed in and gave some details on
Do we
this.
know who
So
Ryder is? We don't.
I
We
I
don't
don't
know who
know
he is.
exactly. I don't know exactly who it is. It's somebody in the core foundation, core team, I believe. But this is important, and a lot of people have said, "Hey, we need more openness. We want to know where this money is going, what it's being used for." So Ryder made a post and said, "We routinely move Treasury back and forth between Bitcoin and cash to make sure we have enough secure runway to take Deso all the way to the finish line. In this case, we just wanted to convert some of the Bitcoin to cash to prevent downward price movement from impacting the project." Makes sense to me. So we kind of get some clarity here.
Yeah.
It's not that they're spending this right now, but it's that they're just kind of trying to take some cash and lock in that price of Bitcoin.
Yeah, and maybe they should have waited a day or two.
Yeah, I don't know. It's all about timing, I guess.
So Cloutpunk, everybody knows Cloutpunk. If you're into NFTs on Deso, you know Cloutpunk. They now allow you to mint via their website. You can actually mint a Cloutpunk directly on their website. If you go cloutpunk.desomintmachine.com, you can do so. Thanks to Nathan Wells for setting this up. Nathan Wells is working on Deso Mint Machine. Uh, I think this is awesome for Cloutpunk. It's awesome for the collectors of Cloutpunk. And also, I want to thank Zian Mead for pointing this out. He made a post, I believe, early this morning talking about this.
Yeah, I love this. I love that they have their own website. Uh, I Cloutpunk is one of my favorite series, definitely NFT series on Deso. So
Technically, it's not their site that you mint on. You mint on the
yeah,
desomintmachine.com, but it's the subdomain of that,
right.
cloutpunk.desomintmachine.com. And it's one Deso to mint a Cloutpunk, which is very affordable.
So tell us about the Twitter space that's going on tomorrow.
Yeah, so we know that DAO has been holding these joint Twitter spaces with various DAOs all over the world, pretty much on a weekly basis. And tomorrow, on Thursday at 12 p.m. Eastern time, they're doing another one, and this time they're doing it with Vita DAO and their creator Paul Kohlhaas. Vita DAO is actually a DAO that's looking to advance longevity research. So, everybody wants to live long, everybody wants to be healthy as long as they can. And this is a DAO that's looking to fundraise to advance research on longevity. So, you can learn more about that. I don't know all the details of exactly what they're doing, but you'll be able to learn pretty much everything if you go to this Twitter Spaces tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern Time, 9 p.m. Pacific.
I'm a huge fan of this. I'm really pro longevity technology. I want to live forever, right? But I know that there's some big names like Jeff Bezos getting involved, funding companies that are working on longevity research. There's a lot of money being poured into this, and I think over the next decade or two, I think people are going to start to realize that science really can do a lot of great things, and science can increase lifespan significantly in humans. And I think over the next 30 to 40 years, we're going to have people living a lot longer thanks to AI technology, genetic research, and all sorts of healthcare technological improvements.
Oh, you mean we die? I thought when we die, we just go back to base reality. This is just a metaverse.
Well, maybe, but maybe we can stay in the metaverse
The
longer.
metaverse. Maybe we'll laugh at it ourselves. Like, can you believe we actually wanted to stay in that metaverse?
Yeah, right.
So,
So
what
moving
Invest
on.
in Digital had some interesting tidbits to talk about yesterday.
Yeah, so he suggested that Natter do a TED talk about Deso, and I love that. He said that he told the community, let's crowdsource a Natter TED talk. If enough of us do this, they'll have no choice but to accept us. He posted a link to the speaker nomination form on the TED.com website. It's just speaker-nominations.ted.com. And I love this idea. I think that if enough of us do kind of nominate Natter to do this, I think maybe he could be doing a TED talk within a few months. What
Yeah,
do you
there's a
think?
link right above this video on Deso and below it on YouTube if you want to nominate Natter.
Yeah.
Or you could even nominate us and we'll just talk about nothing, I guess. I don't
Don't
know.
nominate us. I don't want to do a TED talk.
So Disruptivepreneur, he has some updates. So their DAO, their DAO that they call our DAO, has reached 86% of their funding. They've raised $1,725 of the 2,000 that they seek to raise. If you're a DAO coin holder, you're going to be able to bid on their disrupted doors NFTs, and these doors close today. Today's the last day you can bid on them. If you do win one of these NFTs, you're gonna get you're gonna get access to a private gallery they have with premium prices on NFTs that are curated by Disruptivepreneur. Uh, I love what Disruptivepreneur is doing. He has his hands in so many different things, and he's very successful in what he does.
Yeah, and they're only $275 away from fully funding their DAO. So let's make this happen. $275. I'm sure some of you guys are interested, and you can maybe buy some of their DAO coins if you find it fit. And sorry, Disruptpreneur, I know we kind of ignored you yesterday. You messaged us and told us to talk about this, but we were really busy with our interview yesterday with Happy Penguin and Fed.
We didn't ignore you. We just didn't see the message, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of tags that are tagging us to talk about stuff, and we try to pick out the stuff that we have time to talk about, but you're definitely worth talking about.
Yeah, so talking about DAOs, what's Darian Parrish doing?
Yeah, so Darian Parrish, an OG of Deso, super smart guy. Brian says Salil Sethi's as smart as on Deso. I think Darian Parrish will give him a run for his money. Um, he's actually planning to launch a few different DAOs, he said. And each of these DAOs are going to have incredibly simple but important missions behind them. He said, quote, to ensure simplicity, the main measure of progress will be a single metric defined at launch. So I love this idea. You don't need to create a DAO that does a million different things. Just create small little DAOs with one single goal or super simplistic goals that are kind of all aligned, and then raise funding to do that. And I think that might be how some DAOs on Deso could really get started, and how some DAOs on Deso can kind of really take off and show the world what DAO is capable of.
Yeah, start small. And as you grow, you can have additional rounds, raise more money, and kind of spread your wings. And Darian Parrish is a great guy to lead an initiative like this. I look forward to seeing what he does.
Yeah. So moving on, the Junkyard Waltz pointed out yesterday that Supernova's website is currently down. And they've been down, I'm guessing, for about 20 hours or so from the filming of this video. I'm not exactly sure. We don't have any updates on why they're down. Uh, I don't think they're just vanishing. I don't think they're gone. I don't think they just like shut down the servers and shut down shop. I think they're probably just having server issues, or maybe moving servers or something. Because I do know that Franz made a post, I believe it was last week, saying that they do have plans. They're working on some things. So I highly doubt that they're gone like some people are speculating. Just hold out. I'm pretty sure they're still going to be here.
Yeah, and we all love supernovas. So hopefully they're back soon. So let's talk about the top NFT bidders over the last 24 hours, according to NFTZ. They are as follows: NFT Pets, Studio Richards, Garbo, Zian Mead, Just in Time, Hindsight Profit, Vishnu Sularin, James Barrett, Vishal Golia, and Jody Bossert. No meta philosopher today, but he's been active over the last week.
He or she.
He or she. So the top Diamond creators over the last 24 hours, according to our friends at Altum Base, are as follows: Sasha Tagger, Krasenstein Us, Riga, Michelle Lord, Stargeezer, Ask the Audience. You know this one.
Oh, our Pete.
Our Pete, Amber
I gotta
Byers,
learn that.
Lil Lover, and Happy Rabbit. You just gotta write out the pronunciation for me, and then I can remember
Just
it.
think of our, like, it's ours.
He's
And
our
then
Pete.
Pete, our Pete. It's
Yeah,
pretty simple, Brian.
I'll try and remember that.
Anyhow, I think that's all the news we have for today. Everybody have a great rest of your Wednesday, and we will talk to you tomorrow.